Ladies and gentlemen,
we are live
from the Shag Carpet Shack here in Columbia, Tennessee. What's up, everybody? We got Chase Blanchard.
We got Doug Lucanen, and this is the Power Move Podcast.
What's up, all you power movers out there? It's Doug Lucanen, and we're on the
Power Move Podcast.
We got Chase Blanchard.
What's up?
Kicking this finale off in a power way.
Woo!
With your co-hosts right here on the Power Move Podcast.
Shag Carpet Shack looking righteous.
It's time because the boys are back. We don't need a guest to finish this season off for you.
Season 2, bro.
Season 2.
It's done.
We're putting a top on it.
We're putting the top on it, but we are not even close to being finished.
Never.
Never.
We're going to preview what's coming up. A little droplet, a little teaser of Season 3 coming up in this episode here today. We got the Mo's of the Week, and we talk some magnificent topics. So hang in there with us today. Chase, Mo's of the Week. First off, Song of the Week.
Song of the Week.
Tell the people what it is.
Man, Song of the Week. You know, full disclaimer, had another complete song going into this podcast within 15 minutes ago. And
Yes.
thank goodness for my outstanding co-host, Doug Lucanen, for reminding me of the line of Cowboy Troy and Rollin' by Big and Rich. Guys, it took me back to a time of just happiness, carefree, no responsibility, single CD player
Yes.
of Big and Rich, Rollin'. The song Rollin' by Big and Rich. Keep roll. No, it ain't that song.
Because you're rolling with the brothers.
Big and Rich. Go Cowboy, go Cowboy, go. Oh, man.
Beautiful.
It's just a hype song. And, like, guys, seriously, if you were, I think, born, like, post, what? When were you born?
89.
89? Like, if you were...
I was big in high school for me.
Yeah, you were big and high school. Big and Rich high school. So...
Ooh.
Like, if you were born anywhere, like, 90 and up, like, you're totally going to know what's going on. If you're anywhere before that, you probably don't know what's going on. But Rollin' by Big and Rich, total throwback, totally gets me hype. The Cowboy Troy lyrics are just... You thought you had your answer, but your answer wasn't valid. You know? You're looking at me crazy because you think I'm loco. You know what I'm saying? So,
It was beautiful.
guys, it's a great song. Go look it up. I think that's probably what is that, 2007-ish?
7-ish? 6-ish?
6? I don't know,
Great
guys.
guitar riff to kick off the song.
It's so good.
It was
It's
sick.
so good.
I
It's
love
country music without prejudice.
Yep, he announces it that way right off the bat, baby.
So that's my song of the week. Dougie Fresh, tell me what it's about, brother.
All right, my song of the week is All I Want by A Day to Remember. All my friends that I used to play music with in bands and stuff, they're going to really appreciate this song. This is some stuff we did back in 2008, and we would cover A Day to Remember. One of my favorite bands of all time, and the song has a message to it. And I think it goes right in line with the message of our show. Keep your hopes up high and your head down low, which means aim for the stars, aim for all the goals that you want to achieve, but make sure you put in that work to achieve them.
Yes, sir.
Boom. Simple
Love
as
it.
that. Don't overcomplicate it. You know,
Grind
just
away and keep those hopes up high.
Exactly. Take that phrase in the song and roll with it. It's a nice metal song. They do have. It's kind of punk rockish, actually. Punk rockish.
Yeah,
but
I like it.
but
I've never heard it up until you played it.
they do have an acoustic version of it for those of you who like a softer tone. And
definitely gonna have to check that
so
out.
that's out there. Give it a check. Take a look at it. And without further ado, make way for the power moves
Power moves of the week.
of the week.
Go. Do it.
So this is what I did. This is my power move of the week. At first, it was tough. You know, it's tough every week. You got to look back on your week and say, hey, where did I step up? Where did I step up to the plate?
Right.
So
Knock it out of the
something
park.
I feel like that we haven't done, or I haven't done as a supervisor, as let the people know what we do with the budget. And so I worked with some other finance directors, came up with some ideas, pulled some things, in Murray County will be putting out its first ever budget brief for Murray County Public Schools and Murray County government. Very
Love it.
excited about that. We're going to put that information out so that the people know what their taxpayer dollars are being spent on.
Oh, absolutely.
Boom.
I mean, I don't think. I mean,
There it
as a normal, not ever government work affiliated, American citizen like myself, I don't think it gets any better than a transparent government.
Strong.
A government that is transparent. I mean, can you ask for any more? No, you can't.
And that's
And
what
that's
we want to do.
that's top tier, dude.
That's
awesome.
what we want to do.
Hats off to you, Dougie Fresh and Murray County government.
Got to make it easy to understand, and,
Yep.
and hey, this is how much we're spending. Boom, here it is.
Here's where here's where it's
here's
going.
where the money comes from, and here's where it goes.
Love it. Love it.
Slick.
Simplify.
There you go.
Simplify.
Chaze, let the people know.
All right. Well,
Hashtag PWRMVE.
that's right. That's
coming
right.
at you.
So this week was interesting as I reflected back on it. Of course, with the weekend being 4th of July, 1776, freedom, Eagles, everything going on. I look back at my week, and for the first time in Power Move history, there was no Power Move.
Woo.
There was no Power Move.
Tears are falling.
And if I was to say that there was a power move, this is what I would say. The power move that enriched me the most, both soulful and I think productivity wise, was the power of release. I spent 3 days on the lake and barely touched my phone.
Ooh, the power of recovery.
The power of recovery and the power of release from the world, from business, from everything. Like, I spent 3 days on the lake, and I probably spent a total screen time of 30 minutes in 3 days.
Wow.
I mean, and it was glorious.
Glorious.
It was glorious. It was honestly really great. Because
Can't wait to do that.
yeah, I mean, exactly. And that's coming up soon for you.
Vacation
That's coming up soon for
next
you.
week.
And we've talked about it before, and I don't want to get into a brief conversation. Well, I mean, actually I can, because it's the Power Move podcast. I'm talking about a Power Move. Boom. So, we've talked about it before, but anybody that works hard deserves to not only work hard, but they deserve to rest hard, recovery hard, and vacation hard. You know what I'm saying? Because
Work
man,
hard, play hard, baby.
I can't tell you seriously how many times my own fiance, who is a nurse overnight that puts in a lot of hours of work herself, has to tell me to slow down. My mom tells me to slow down. Her mom tells me to slow down. I honestly just kind of just don't really pay no attention. I just laugh at them like it's the only way I know.
Yeah.
But you
don't
don't
feel bad.
realize until you do it, like how much it was needed. So.
I agree.
But to really say it in light, folks, there was no power move this week other than recovery. But with the recovery, you can bet your ass that next week the power move will be stronger than
We'll be
ever.
breeding power moves.
That's how strong it is.
Yep.
Excuse the power language, but I'm in it, guys. I'm focused. I'm ready. I'm determined.
He's ready to make them mule power moves, baby.
Boom.
Pow.
Boom.
There it is. There's your Mo's of the week. Thank you, listeners, for listening in. I hope that gets you hyped up. Pump out those songs. Let us know your power move of the week. Shout us out. Do the hashtag PWRMVE, and we are here.
Boom.
So now, without further ado, we're unleashing the topics tonight. Topic number 1, UFC 251. This Saturday, which this is going to be released on Friday, which we know. Boom. Big fight. Jorge Masvidal. Kamaru Usman, the Nigerian Nightmare. Face off in the squared circle. Nope. The Octagon.
The Octagon.
The Octagon for a battle amongst men at the welterweight title. So, Chaze, I'm going to let you fire off some questions, but we were asked by a listener to kind of go over UFC 251. I'm going to keep it on the main event.
Okay.
What I would like to kick off right here is to say, watch the fight from fight pass prelims forward, because this card is stacked.
Is it? Okay.
It's stacked. even if you're not a UFC fan, if you like boxing or you like competitive sports, watch this thing from front to back. Watch it from the very beginning because there's not a bad fighter on the card. Now, you get like lackluster cards every once in a while.
Yeah.
And it's just due to injury, sickness. It happens.
I mean, it happens.
But we have an amazing opportunity right here because if you buy the pay-per-view on this one, you're not going to regret it.
Awesome.
You won't. So there you go.
So, so with the card, I actually had this question talking to another to my brother Derek. We were talking about it. First of all, obviously I think the big question mark is, where is this fight going to be?
Yas Island, baby.
Yas Island.
In Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi.
So it's also known now, thanks to Dana White, as Fight Island.
Fight Island.
How powerful does that
I
sound?
love it.
That's a good marketing strategy.
So do you think this, because 9 times out of 10 they're in Vegas, right?
They've been in Vegas a lot, especially because of COVID.
Right.
In the Apex.
But even in the past years, like in the last 5-10 years, I mean, they're usually in Vegas, right?
A lot of the big fights happen in Vegas, but no, they do go all over the world.
Okay.
They've been in Russia. This is the second time they've been in Abu Dhabi. They've been in Africa. They've been in China. They've been Russia, Netherlands, Holland, everywhere.
So remind me of the main card, like you said. So
Yes.
So go over the main card one more time.
I'm
for
going
our
to kick it
listeners
off.
and myself.
So these are the fights you can look forward to if you buy the pay-per-view. Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zant, also known as 12 Gauge Paige. So Paige Van Zant, if you watch fighting, you kind of know who she is already. But she's like no short on work ethic. She's been gaining some technique, and she is a tough fighter in this division already. And something to definitely see. Amanda Ribas is basically on that lower level, but moving up to fight Paige, and it's going to be a good battle. But neither fighter is ranked, but Paige is well known throughout the MMA community and draws a lot of fans due to her success earlier in the division.
Okay.
So it's a good barn burner to watch. Paige is going to attack a lot. Paige is rarely on the defense. And if Paige ends up, I think Paige is going to pull this fight out. She's going to win this fight because she's had time to develop her technique and get better and better. She was also on Dancing with the Stars. And so Paige is well known. You know, people are going to have eyeballs on this fight.
Right.
And I think Paige gets the win here tonight.
So you think 12 Gauge Paige gets the win?
12 Gauge Paige gets the win. And I think she proves her reason. She's been kind of battling back and forth about her contract. I think this would be a stepping stone to show the people, hey, look, I'm worth it. I got this. And she's an excellent fighter. She's got some good head toss throws. But honestly, she's also ended fights by head kick. Woo! So look out for fireworks. I think this is actually going to be a very exciting fight. And we could look at Paige getting a finish in this fight, if not a 3-round decision. So there it is. Boom. There's my review of Ribas versus PVG or PVZ. Really.
I like it. Let's write off a couple more. Tell us about it, Dougie. I mean,
next fight.
Hey guys, he's the expert here. You heard the Homegrown MMA pod.
Tough.
You know, he's an MMA fan of years. I mean, guys, I'm gonna chime in a little bit, but this is Dougie's expertise.
And as a fan, Chase, if you know these names, I want to hear your perspective as well. So this fight, I'm super excited for because I see a changing of the roles. We have Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas. Okay, Rose Namajunas was the champ. She lost to Jessica Andrade.
Really?
She was slammed on her head when she had Jessica in an armbar. And she ended up getting a little knocked out, a little fuzzy, and then Jessica finished the fight. Because Jessica is brutally strong, and she's an amazing grappler. But Rose, I feel like Rose has a better full game. And as a champion, she's a complete fighter. Now here's the thing, though. Rose she took a break from fighting because she felt her heart wasn't in it anymore. She kind of got away from fighting. And so that's my only worry with this fight. I feel like Rose Namajunas, has all the skills in the bank to be able to win this fight and really take it to a 5-round decision, or even knock Jessica out or tap her out. She definitely has finishing
Early round
ability.
tap out or late round tap out?
I think if she does get a tap out, you're looking at 3rd round.
Okay.
Now this would be a 3-round fight. It is not for the title, but I consider it a number 1 contender bout for the fight, basically for the title right here. So Rose Namajunas, I feel like she does have strength in this fight, but if she wins by pointing her out and striking. I think if it goes to grappling, Jessica's just so strong and brutally strong that it weighs towards Jessica's side. And she can grind out this fight and get to a victory just by taking her down and kind of grinding it out. She's also good at jiu-jitsu, and I think she could evade some of Rose's traps that she sets for her. But
Nice.
I think if Rose stays at distance, because in their first fight she was clipping her with a lot of shots, and if Rose keeps it on the feet, she's going to walk herself to an easy victory and be next in line for that title shot.
Okay.
Yep.
Next one on the board?
Next one on the board. And before I finish the Rose one, Rose has got good length, so she can keep Jessica at bay. She's got the reach advantage there. So this is a fight, and I think this fight is at risk of happening, but I'm going to review it as if it were going to happen anyways.
Okay.
So we've got Petr Yan versus Jose Aldo. Jose Aldo's the legend. I consider him and Max Holloway the best 145-pound champions in the world to ever exist. Well, Jose Aldo is moving down to 135, and he's fighting Petr Yan, and they're going head-to-head, dude. Petr Yan's on his way up, rising contender.
Yeah.
Young guy. Fought a lot of tough guys and got into that top contender.
Right.
This is a number 1 contender's fight as well. Jose Aldo has been successful at 145 in the top 3 for probably the last 12 years. But now he's moving down in weight to 135, so there's a lot of questions. Will Jose Aldo carry his power, his leg kick power, his stamina down to 135, or is it too much weight cut for him? Petr Yan's younger. I
think 10 pounds really makes that big of a difference?
It really does when you're cutting water weight.
Wow.
Jose probably walks around at, I'd probably say at least 160, 170. He's cutting down to 135. That's pretty sickly. That's pretty tough. But at the same time, Jose's been talking about this for a while now, and he's finally getting his shot. So
Right.
Jose knows something that we don't know, I feel like. But at the same time, I'm going to have to... I don't want to go against the legend because I like Aldo, and he fights really well. He's got one of the best leg kicks in the game. He's got good grappling. But recently, people have been able to beat him by out-cardioing him. They last longer.
Yeah.
Aldo looks very good in the first 2-3 rounds, but he ends up running out of gas, and Piotr's that young breed.
Young legs, fresh legs.
I don't want to do it because I'm a Jose Aldo fan, especially over in this scenario. But if I had to pick a winner, I'm picking Petr Yan to move on and get his number 1 title shot against the champ, which we're trying to figure out who the champ is in the 135-pound division, because Triple C basically, stepped out. He said, hey, I was the champ of the 135 and the 125. Henry Cejudo, he was called the Triple C because he had a gold medal in wrestling as well. So
Wow.
triple champ, right?
Right.
Well, he walked away from the sport, so we're waiting to see what happens with this division.
Right.
But this right here, I mean, you're looking at a power matchup right here, and basically, I really think an interim title. So
Nice.
I think Petr Yan right here gets the job done. The youth, the cardio finishes Jose Aldo off. So now we get into the 2 title fights, the main events, baby.
Main event.
We're looking at a lot of power.
Are you ready to rumble?
So, newly crowned champ Alexander Volkanovski in his rematch against Max Blessed Holloway. And the best is blessed. Max Holloway is a terror at 145. He is the boy. He is jacked. And he is my pick to regain his title. Because he lost it to Alexander in the first fight.
Okay.
So what's he going to do? You know what he's going to do? He's going to grow. He's going to go back to the drawing board. He's had a lot of time. Volkanovski, for whatever reason, I think he had injury issues and he's been out. He hadn't defended his title once, and the King is back. And you know what? I think the King gets it done here. He uses his reach, his striking. I think he learns from the first fight, and he pitter-patters Alexander Volkanovski to the end, if not finishes him in the 4th round due to strikes.
Nice.
Because of power.
I love it.
Because the Power Move podcast said so.
Because the Power Move podcast feels him. Holloway sponsored by Power Move podcast.
Yeah.
Not really.
Not really. Sorry, Max.
Full disclaimer.
But the best is blessed.
We don't do that.
So there he is.
That's righteous, dude.
All right, main event of the evening. Kamaru Usman, Jorge Masvidal. This is a short notice fight.
Now, I've watched Masvidal fights.
Masvidal, Street Jesus, game bred, baby.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with the route that I think's gonna happen.
Okay.
But I'm gonna show a counter to that as well.
Okay.
So originally Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman was supposed to fight, and I think in that matchup you had 2 amazing grapplers and 2 pretty amazing strikers. But now the game has changed. You know, Gilbert Burns, Doreen Hall. He ended up getting a COVID. He couldn't fight.
Right.
So now steps in on short notice, 7 days notice.
Right.
Street Jesus, game bred Jorge Masvidal. He's got the biggest flying knee victory of all time against Ben Askren. We thought Ben might be done.
Right.
It was the most gruesome knee I've ever seen in the octagon. It was nuts. So you got a guy who can really bang. Jorge Masvidal has amazing boxing, amazing striking. And I think he can make this fight very interesting, especially since I feel like he's a very different opponent compared to Gilbert Burns. He's slick, he's clever, he hits you with bombs. This is a next level striker compared to Gilbert Burns, in my opinion, and can provide some major challenges to Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman, though, is next level grappler. And if you look at Jorge Masvidal's past, he's lost to Damian Maia, who's also an excellent grappler. He's lost fights due to grappling. And so I see, this is my prediction, and I'm going to call it a bold prediction. Because I'm going to tell you what happens other than this.
Tell us.
So what happens is Kamaru Usman, in my original answer, dominates this fight. He gets inside on Jorge, and he uses his grappling and his clinch game to pound him through the cage.
Wow.
Okay? And if not, finishes him. Okay? So there it is. He's got better cardio. He's been working out for a fight. He may have been preparing. Hopefully he was. Now I'll show you a counter to that. The counter is Jorge fights all the time.
Right.
He's used to a quick brawl. He was street fighting before he ever got into MMA, period. He's a savage, and his stand-up game is very,
pretty good.
Very, very good. He outboxed Nate Diaz, and Nate Diaz is
Nate
one of
Diaz
the
is
best boxers
thug.
in the game.
Nate Diaz is thug.
He is. And you know, he got out-thugged that night.
He did get out thug.
And so the thug of all thugs is
Yeah.
coming in here. And it's 3-piece and a soda time. And on short notice, I think that only benefits Jorge Masvidal because he has such a unique style.
Yeah.
You need time to prepare for that style.
Well, especially if
Usman.
Especially if Usman has trained for a specific opponent for so long.
Gilbert Burns, yeah.
And then you have somebody, like
Completely different.
completely different coming in here. Not only completely different, but they're fresh. And see, he was training, for just general training, and so now he can lock into his opponent.
Yep.
Versus he's got to change everything else.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So
he's got to switch it up big time. And
I don't know, dude.
The counter is Jorge Masvidal.
So if you're
keeps Usman at distance.
you're putting a solid Benjamin on it,
Ooh, what's that mean? Help
like
me.
a solid $100 bill.
Ooh, on the fight
Yeah.
as a wager.
Who would you put? Who would you put?
Look, I'm sticking
Pick
with
to
my
win that.
original answer. Kamaru Usman pulls this fight out. Due to cardio, grappling, and his striking being good enough to hang.
I love it.
Good enough to not get killed.
So you mentioned,
But I will say, dude, Jorge Masvidal has a perfect
Don't put it past
opportunity.
him. Right.
No. And if he wins this fight, he keeps Usman at distance and he hits him with stuff. I mean, by the end of the fight, you're going to be like, can we please end this? Because Usman's getting hit a lot. because he does. I feel like there is a gap in the striking advantage towards Jorge Masvidal.
Right.
So there it is.
So you talked about kind of the COVID, sitting in this last minute replacement. I mean, all of the athletes. I don't know. I mean, inform us. Are the fighters having to go through a quarantine prior to the fight?
Oh yes. So they're tested multiple times before the fight, and
so what do you think this kind of impact of COVID? Of preparation for COVID and probably what they may or may not have to do as far as quarantine, diet, or anything. How do you think this is going to affect the fights? I mean,
it definitely affects the fights. The good news is that fighters going in there, everybody's obviously wearing masks. Everybody's getting tested. They're not having fans at these fights. The fighters are just fighting each other, and they've all been tested right before the fight.
What do you think the fans make a big difference? Not having the fans in there?
I do.
Oh, of course, right?
I really
It's
do.
got to.
I really do. And it makes a difference in the dollars too.
Right.
But people that were going to go to the fight are going to watch the fight, I feel like, on pay-per-view. That's their seat, right? That's the seat that they'll pick if they can't have a seat there in the arena. So hopefully the people in Abu Dhabi invest in that and they watch the pay-per-view, because we like to see sports continue during this tough time.
Right. No doubt.
But you also don't want to see people getting COVID due to just lax procedures at events.
Sure.
So you have to do it right if you're going to do it. And it's hard work, but I feel like all sports can kind of... I think the UFC paved the way and said, look, we're still going to have sports.
Yeah.
It's still going to happen. We just got to be unique in the ways that we figure out a way to, make it happen. And I like that they're deciding to move forward rather than just be like, you know what, that's going to be really hard and it's going to cost a lot of money.
Adapt.
I don't think we're going to do it.
Adapt, yeah.
Adapt
Absolutely.
and move forward.
No doubt.
Boom.
That's awesome. Well, that completes the card, doesn't it?
There's your main event. Watch the card from top to bottom. There's some
UFC
killers on there.
251.
All
Love
the power you need for your powerhouse.
Doug, you broke that thing down smooth.
I was hoping to get through it pretty quick, and I'm sorry that it took so long. But
No.
there's so much detail in fighting,
Dude, I mean, that's what the listeners want, right?
Yep.
So, shout out to all listeners, all of our fighting fans and stuff, our UFC fans.
Mm-hmm.
So, drop a comment below. Send us a message on social media. What is your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you not agree?
If you don't agree, meet me in the Shag Carpet Shack.
And we'll
We got Jack Johnson and Tom O'Leary right here.
and
we
we'll
can throw down
we'll
the
just duke it
fisticuffs
out,
if you
Red
need
Bull
to.
mode. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Which
So,
is what we're on.
and if Dougie's completely wrong on all of his selections, I mean, call him out on it. You
Yep,
know, come
do
Saturday, come Sunday.
Do it.
So, all right, y'all. You heard it there. UFC 251, 251.
Boom.
Broken down by yours truly,
Yeah.
Dougie Fresh.
Thanks, guys.
He's the one with the knowledge. He's been watching a long time. Honestly, your boy Chase Blanchard Chaze here. I'm not a huge avid watcher of UFC, so leave it up to the experts. And the guy's been watching a while. So, guys, I think what is it, five fights on the card?
Yeah.
And
5 on the main
just
event.
like a Kroger special, 5 for 5.
Boom, boom.
I think he's got it down, guys. But if you think otherwise, let us know.
Drop it in.
Call your own shot. Well, and heaven forbid you are right, and our man Dougie Fresh is wrong. We'll announce it. We'll let you know.
We'll have to acknowledge that.
We'll have to acknowledge it. We ain't scared.
Shortfall, baby.
We ain't scared.
We ain't scared.
So, speaking of being not scared, opportunities come and go in this world, right? And when it comes to personal, when it comes to business, anything, relationship, but we're going to focus on the career aspect. And, Doug, I know that you've come across it a lot. I know that I've come across it a lot. So, we're going to put in quotations here, opportunities.
Yep, opportunities.
Opportunities in your career. In your career to date so far, do you think, in your opinion, do you have a open door mindset or do you have a closed door mindset? And what I mean by that, listeners, so it doesn't matter where you're at in life. What I mean by the open door mindset, if you have an open door mindset, that means that no matter your situation, pay, hours, salary, managers, vacation, workplace, location, any of that, even if all of that is picture perfect for you in your situation, your family, are you still willing to have an open door if someone approaches you with another opportunity? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to hear them out?
So that's the question.
So that's the question. Or are you closed once you get what you feel like is the best opportunity for you and your family? Are you closed? If someone approaches you and say, "Hey, I want to offer you a job," are you automatically no?
Yeah.
And if so, why? So, man, kind of take it away a little bit here.
Yeah,
It was
gotcha.
my thought process because it happens a lot in real estate. With different companies, being a sales representative, different companies are always trying to entice you a little bit. They're trying to throw incentives your way, and I'm sure it's probably been that way for you in your years past. So, what kind of mindset do you think you have?
So it all depends on the place that you're at in your career and what you seek in your career.
Okay.
So I guess the advice I would give listeners for opportunities that come your way is set goals that you want for your career and look at that position and say, hey, does that meet my goals?
Right.
And I hate to be bland like that, but everybody has different goals.
True.
Like some people, like it's 100% money driven.
Right.
I've had colleagues, I've had people I've worked with. They're like, well, that makes more money. I don't care about the rest.
They don't care about the lifestyle that it gives them, the location, anything about it, the hours. As long as they get like a roundabout, let's say 100K.
Yeah.
Like if they make 100K, they're good.
It's like, wait a minute, excuse me, how much? Yeah, bye. Yeah, I'm gone. But I would say first set your goals for what you want in your career, and I would also say keep those options open to our listeners. Now I'll just explain where I'm at in my career and why I do have an open mindset, definitely for the future. But at this point in time, one of the big things about my career that I hang on to is the purpose that it serves. Because I think of all of us in this earth, basically saying, this is what we do to help the whole world out.
Right.
We're kind of good at this. We're kind of good at this. This is the career that makes us good. And this is how we can provide what we're good at to the world. Some people are better at other things than other people are, and we're all making this thing go around. We're all helping each other. So a big thing about my job is the purpose.
Right.
And so I love that everything I do
serves a purpose.
It serves a purpose, and the things I'm good at, I'm able to provide for that purpose. So it's a very positive career.
So you're a servant mindset and at heart.
Serve at heart. Yep, exactly. And what I love about that is that I can share any benefit that I achieve in my job with the community. And I'd rather do that than provide it to like CEOs or to corporate companies and all that. And I've said that on the podcast, but honestly, that is what drives me more than anything. Now, if I'm getting paid, I'm not really going to go towards pay. I don't really want to talk about it, but I will say, like, if another job is offered to me, that purpose needs to be wholesome. That purpose, because I've got certain goals that I set from the very beginning. But am I going to shut my eyes to the entire world and say, look, I'm the Murray County Finance Director forever? I'm not going to shut my eyes to those opportunities because things could come along that I just couldn't say no to because they align with my goals. And my goals are wholesome and my purpose
shout out to Bruni, right? That's what kind of made me think of it.
Yes, it is.
It's his goals that obviously
for his family,
for his
career.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so he made that move. And so me and my career, look, I feel like in my career, I could stay here 10 to 20 years and be 100% happy because I like the purpose. I'm not an overly needy person. I feel like where I'm paid, everything that I do, everything is good. My job is very difficult, very busy, but I asked for it and I love it because I know that the benefit that it provides. So as of right now, I'm happy staying in this role, honestly, 10, 20, even 30 years.
Yeah.
Because I found something that aligns with my goals.
Right.
And so it's very rare that something's going to come along that says, hey, that is above even your goals.
Right.
And I don't know that it's out there, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be blind to those opportunities. So that's my take What's your take, Chase?
You know, that's awesome that you say that, because that's kind of one of the key, like, hidden elements in the opportunities, like, wording, because like your life, people forget about life stages. You know, 30 years from now, you know, you don't want to be putting in 70 plus hours, 60, 70 hours.
Possibly.
You know, possibly, like you said. You might want to be enjoying your kids, grandkids, and retirement, you know, you know, just kick it back a little, you know. So that's obviously a huge thing to think about. But, so my take on it is, like I said, being in real estate, you're always, you know, potentially enticed by another company, another brokerage, you know, and they can shine, or what I call like shine or flash a lot of sparkly new things, a new technology or anything at it. And it's no secret, I've been in real estate 5 years, and I'm with my third company now in 5 years. So I've had the opportunity to learn different things from each and every company. But it was my idea behind this topic, because anytime, I don't care where I'm at in life, as long as it doesn't monetarily, you know, what is it? I think that's the word, monetary value, cost me, you know, to find out about opportunity, and it takes very little, you know, much of my time, you know, an hour to a 2 hour conversation, you know, if it takes nothing, if it's free and stuff. Now, obviously, I would imagine a good opportunity that would be beneficial to your life wouldn't cost you anything, because, you know, that just doesn't make sense. You know, they wouldn't charge you money for a job offer. But if it's free, I think it's very silly. I think you're doing a disservice not only to you but your family if you don't listen to any and every opportunity that walks through your way. Because the perfect thing about an opportunity is you have the opportunity to accept it or reject it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you know, because, you know, the thing about a power move and what life is all about is bettering yourself.
Yep.
So if you're not always constantly trying to better yourself in every which way, then what are you doing? You're complacent. Let
me hop right in here. This is
Go
perfect.
ahead.
This is a perfect setup. So
go ahead.
Back from 2014 to 2016, I was a senior accountant in a position that I knew I could not move up. The supervisor did not want me to work overtime, did not want me to learn more, and I had to get out of that toxic arena. I was able to get a job in Nashville. I met the best mentor in my career so far.
Yep.
As far as a corporate level, as far as a boss, you know, I've had amazing mentors from MTSU, but as a boss, I had the best mentor I've ever had in Brett. And so, you know, I challenge myself. I bet on myself. And there is nothing more satisfying than betting on yourself. And then,
absolutely. And
then saying, like, hey, you got some shoes to fill. You got some things to get done. You've got to provide when you get out there. Or because corporate's very dangerous. You can end up losing your job. But at the same time, it was so amazing to not only say, hey, I'm going to jump into this other arena. I'm going to do all these other new things. I'm going to do something that, you know, the supervisor, the CFO, expects a lot of you. Mm-hmm. And you're going to try your best to succeed at it, and then you succeed. Like, that is an amazing feeling. It builds confidence. It gets you excited about your career. And you learn stuff. You expose yourself to stuff you've never had to deal with before. And you know what? Oh, my gosh. You grow from it. You know more than you did before. You're exposed to the learning. You have to deal with different situations, which means you get smarter. You get better as a leader. You become a better accountant, better whatever it is you do.
Yep.
And because I exposed myself to that opportunity,
yep,
that was one of the best changes in my career I had ever made, was to say, you know what? It's not so much this job and this purpose that I'm tied to,
yep,
but it's the fact that I feel like if I stay here, I'm going to become stagnant.
Yep.
And I am fearful of stagnant because
yep,
I'm too competitive. I want to be good at what I do,
yep,
and I want to be exposed to difficult situations
absolutely,
so that I can learn from them.
Well, I mean, it's that's, I mean, what Keller Williams is, and that's, no secret. The current brokerage that I'm with is Keller Williams Realty, a big international company, one of your largest firms in the world. The biggest thing that, Gary Keller teaches, and any business person, Gary Keller, Gary V, Ty Lopez, I mean, any of the Cuban, anybody from Shark Tank, anybody, you do not grow in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So, listening to just listening to an opportunity is already out of a comfort zone.
It's very exciting.
It's exciting, it's scary, it's everything.
Yeah.
And let me tell you this. I know an agent in our local area, in our market, and this agent is a particularly great agent at their job as they sit right now. And I truly believe they're at the opportunity that they're given right now. The agent is making the most out of this opportunity, and even more so. But I know and I believe that this agent is so fearful of change. That's a huge deal. Mm-hmm. Change equals comfort zone, and comfort zone equals change. And this agent is so fearful of a change that I don't even know if they ever will make it / will make it anytime soon. However, I feel as if this agent was to make a change, and I'm not even saying to Keller Williams. I'm really not. They are not a Keller Williams agent. That's the only news I guess I give you.
So it's not you, Chazzy.
Yeah, it's not me. It's not me. I feel like if this agent made a change, that they would thoroughly think themselves, exceed at a even higher level that they already are, and I think I just definitely think they would. But I've had many talks with this agent, and they have had fearful conversation of change. They're so fearful of the word change.
Yeah.
So I hate that because like I said, the growth is out of the comfort zone. So that's kind of the moral of the story. I truly believe, because I've heard of people, they have a closed mindset. If something comes their way, they don't even want to hear it, and that could have been the best opportunity you've ever received in your life, and you didn't even know it.
Yep.
So, guys, moral of the story is I think my advice, I think your advice, Doug, is to always listen to an opportunity. But sounds like you said it first, which I agree with 110%, is anytime you listen to an opportunity, know what your goals are in place already.
And make sure that opportunity aligns with your goals, and
not
don't
only,
be afraid
not only
to change.
Like career goals, but life goals.
Oh yes,
family goals,
definitely.
Life goals, personal goals.
You got to think about all of it. And I know this is old school, but jot it down somewhere. Jot it down digitally on your Surface, on a piece of paper, something like that.
Right. No doubt.
So that when that opportunity comes along, what your priorities are. And that's how you need to make your decision. Because it may be the right time for a change, or it may be an absolute terrible time for a change. And know that change isn't bad. Change is just change. And if you're built to adapt, you're going to be fine. And honestly, everybody's built to adapt. It takes my favorite skill, work ethic.
Yep.
You got to work to
Absolutely.
change. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to be like trying a different grip on your golf club. I love golf. It's going to be like changing a different grip on your golf club.
So is that like a big deal?
It is a big deal.
I'm not a big golfer, so that's a big
deal. You can go from hooking the ball to slicing the ball just by changing
your
grip. Yep, it definitely can.
Boom, so another number one advice. I mean,
don't change the grip on your golf club.
Don't change the grip on your golf club. So number one advice, or number two advice, I think I should give. I'm not even married. You're married. I feel
very married. Yeah.
I feel like another big related subtopic to that is always discuss with your significant other.
Oh. 1,000%.
Right?
Yep.
Because
hey, what do you think about this?
Because it's not just your life. Too. It's y'all's life.
Yep. That's 100% correct. And like I hate to go back to it because I know we're rolling a very powerful pod right now. But when Chase was talking about putting yourself in your comfort zone and getting comfortable with that, how are you going to grow if you never leave that area?
Yeah.
And so the movie Miracle with Kurt Russell about the 1979-1980 Olympics with the hockey team, USA Hockey. They get in a meeting with him, and he's interviewing for coach, and he says, "Man, you want to win the gold medal this year? That's an awfully lofty goal, Herb." And Herb says, "Well, yeah, that's why I want to pursue it."
Right.
Seek greatness. Believe in yourself. You can do this.
Seek greatness. Love it.
You can learn. You can gain skills. You have it in your own power to do that.
Yep.
And some people are accepting of change, and some people are very terrified of it. But the truth is I feel like with work ethic, you can get around that. You can
no doubt.
You can learn what you need to learn, achieve what you want to achieve, and you can be something better than you currently think that you can be.
Absolutely.
And so don't shoot for just the hill when you can really make the sky.
Yeah.
So, anyway, sorry. I just want to elaborate.
I love it. No, I love it. Another opportunity I'm looking forward to is whooping your tail in Madden 2021.
That would be a first.
What?
That would be a first.
Boom! Don't tell the listeners that. So, guys, I think we've played what? Three or four Madden games. Me and Doug have. All on his console at his house.
That's true.
On Xbox.
We should play on the PlayStation.
I'm a born and bred PlayStation lover. Now I've had both. So, but anyways, Madden 21 coming out here soon. We always talk about sports, and why not?
Sports.
Why not talk about sports video games?
Esports, baby.
Esports.
We love it. Lamar Jackson on the cover.
LJ in the flesh. Whoa, whoa.
He was really good till he hit that two-tone blue, bro.
Ooh, he was.
Power.
Sorry.
Titans.
Sorry, divisional round.
America.
So
Tannehill. Derrick Henry. The King. Power. Kevin Byard. Red sleeve. KB31. Gonna be on the show for sure. I'll just keep chirping him. But anyways, yeah. Lamar Jackson was the NFL MVP. So, he's on the front of Madden 21. I just want the world to know that the Titans shut that down. Go ahead, Chase. Sorry. I kidnapped that whole show for the Titans. Right there.
Are you done?
I'm done, yeah.
That was glorious.
I couldn't hold it back, baby.
So, Madden 21, as explained thoroughly by Dougie. Madden 21 cover athlete, Lamar Jackson. So, guys, we're super excited about it. We are avid Madden players. How many seasons have you played in your franchise? On Madden 20?
On just Madden 20?
Yeah.
Are we talking about like just the franchise or the QB
Both.
face of the future?
Both.
All right, so like QB1 face of the future was like
face of the franchise.
Face of the franchise. Yeah, sorry. 6th season I think.
Jeez.
And then on the I'll just flip over to regular franchise. I think Tannehill retired.
My goodness. So you get it. You get it, guys. So there's.
I'm probably 10 to 11 years in on that.
I want to dive deep into it. I believe it's coming out August, at the end of August. It's always towards the end of August.
Yeah, 2020.
So we're not far away from it. And a lot of new things are coming out.
Mm-hmm.
A lot that I've been caught up to speed on. Now, one thing that frustrates me a lot is that a lot of people say, well, Madden, they didn't really come up with nothing. The whole gimmick of, all they do is change the rosters and maybe tweak the uniforms and a little bit of the graphics, and it's new. Well, it's a game about football.
It is.
Football hasn't changed besides their helmets in the last 70 years. So what else can they do?
There's not a whole lot of options.
What they can do is they can just keep tweaking, introduce new things here and there about every 4 to 5 years, but then tweak on what the good things are and make it even better, right? So that's
make it more realistic.
Yeah. So that's what they're doing this year. So Madden 21 is carrying over the face of the franchise that was introduced last year.
I love it.
Can't
wait for the story mode.
It was a fun thing. I am a huge fan of customization, right? Customization and of actual real life and my person / my player attributes and looks. So
Proponent of the dream.
exactly.
You know,
So
because
that's why you play video games.
when you're a real estate agent and when you're an accountant and you're like, man, I sure do wish I would have continued with my football career back in 6th grade when I started or whatever. You know, you get to live that out, right?
Right, it's exactly
And
right.
that's what's motivating. It's like, you know what? I can do my job.
And so you put
But on
that
this
work
video-
ethic in of 6 seasons, baby.
But on this video game, I'm the quarterback of the Oakland Raiders or the
And-
Tennessee Titans or the whoever's.
Right.
And I can still be good.
And I
at
can be
football.
free.
Oh,
That's
man.
it. That's it.
You
man.
can pretend to live your dream. You can keep the imagination and learning alive.
Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
good stuff.
So, Madden 21 continues the face of the franchise, which we were talking about. And it goes very in depth. I'm super excited about it. A lot of new features that they've introduced. So, one of them being super cool, they've introduced, you start off a high school athlete and you create your own high school team and mascot.
Oh my gosh, I'm the Forest High School Rockets.
There it is.
quarterback.
There it is. So,
Nope, running back.
you play two games in high school and you play 2 games in college.
Wow.
And it's 10 teams that you select as a college. A lot of the same teams. They've replaced a couple of them. LSU being one of them, Florida being one of them, Clemson being one of them.
I was very surprised
Texas.
to see Texas Tech.
Texas Tech was in
'Cause
there.
I was
That was
Texas
in there last
Tech,
year. I don't think
last
they're in
year.
there this year.
Okay.
But some new teams and stuff like that. But very interesting. You start off in high school, you get to college, and then of course you go on to the NFL. But some of the newer things, there's a lot of new things. So diving deep, real quick. High school starts off. You get to customize the mascot, customize the team colors. Once you reach the collegiate level, you are actually the story mode has a pre-written script of the.
You gotta say yes, no.
Is a pre-written script of the college coach believing that you are more talented than the position you are playing. So naturally, you start off as a quarterback.
Oh.
You actually have the option in Face the Franchise to play running back or wide receiver now.
Ooh, I
So,
like it a lot.
yeah, so you don't have to be just a quarterback. So you have the option to be running back or wide receiver.
So I can
and
live
stick
out
with
what-
that position.
Yeah, I can live out what I am now, the 7th-string wide receiver for the Titans.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
prove the world how good I was.
Except you can be first string on Madden because you're 6'4", and
Well-
Doug Lukanen from
Well, I mean,
Clemson University.
I don't need to be 6'4" to be wide receiver.
So-
I can be just me.
That's it. So
Boom.
boom. So
Power.
not only do you get to switch positions, but one of the things that was really disappointing, but it was new. It was the
Disappointing?
first year. It was the first
Sad.
year. It was the first year of Madden 20. But one of the things that was disappointing was at Face of the Franchise, it had a lot of cool cut scenes, films, short
Yes,
films,
yes.
Good Morning Football,
Yes.
shortcuts that took place before you reached the NFL.
Once you reach the
Once
NFL,
it was boring.
It
I mean,
was.
for lackluster of
all you
film wise,
yeah,
right?
All
And
you get
cinematics.
is getting chirped by the other team's
But-
star.
right,
That's all
right.
you get. Yeah.
So
I don't
now
like that so
it's
much.
a lot more in depth once you reach the NFL. There's over I think there's 10 scenarios that you can follow. You choose your path.
I love it.
There's 10 scenarios that include multiple ways of how you live out your career, whether it be expected number 1 draft pick to come over and take over the NFL, or whether it's injured in college and bounce back, or whether it's drafted 7th round, will you become the next Tom Brady? So a lot of different scenarios. It's actually really awesome.
I've always loved Madden games.
Yep.
I've always loved them. Do you have some more features to go through? I don't want to interrupt you.
No, you're good. I
I'm
know
ready
you're.
to-
I
I'm
know you're
ready to
getting
roll.
pumped because, guys, you
Yeah,
don't
I'm
understand. I'm
jacked.
telling Dougie. Dougie doesn't know any of this, so
No, this
as
is
I'm
first
telling you
time.
guys, I'm telling him.
I'm pre-ordering right now.
So exactly. So
Go EA
also,
Sports out in Vancouver.
right.
Boom.
So they have. We have the pre-made stories. Also, you have a lot more in depth of Good Morning Football again. People,
Yeah.
Snoop Dogg is featured in.
Snoop?
Dogg is featured in some of the cinematics.
DOOG.
So it's really cool, really awesome. So that kind of covers face of the franchise. The superstar mode, of course, continues over. Our superstar abilities
Yeah.
pass on to Madden 21. most of your premier athletes like Russell Wilson, Odell Beckham,
They all got
Julio
stars.
Jones, Saquon Barkley, they all had their own special abilities that if once they performed a couple of actions, they were in the zone, and it would there was an ability. So a lot of the abilities stayed the same, except a couple of the players get their own. This player gets it only individual ability, and one of the ones that has already been revealed is Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson gets
LJ mode, baby.
Think again. So Lamar Jackson's superstar ability is called Trust.
Trust.
TRUZZZZZ.
They put Z's on it.
Yep. So it's
say
called
that.
Trust. So if
Press
you
conference.
if you run the ball and gain more than 2 yards on 8 different occasions, it will lock him in to the Trust mode. So if you ever played with Lamar Jackson in Madden 20, you know that he had a very high tendency of fumbling. Once he is engaged in the Trust mode, he will not fumble.
What?
No matter the hit.
Ooh, even if he gets hit stick?
Clobbered by Sam
Trucked.
Darnold. It don't matter.
Well, if he gets clobbered by Sam Darnold, we're going to be very confused.
Well, Sam, not Sam. Aaron Donald. I said.
All right,
There we go. Yeah, there you go.
Aaron Donald.
There you go.
There we
We're
go,
going to
baby.
cut that out, but we're just going to leave it because it is
No,
what
we're
it
going to
is.
leave it for America.
Aaron
All of it's
Donald.
good.
Aaron
Transparency,
Donald. Yeah.
right? Boom.
Aaron
Power.
Donald. The number one, defensive in
Number
football.
99.
Yeah. So
Power.
anyway, so that's super cool. A lot of another couple things. You have full control now over your running back via the right stick. So no more L1, L2, RB, LB.
You can change his running route.
Every single thing about your running back or the player in motion is all controlled with the right stick.
I love it.
So if you want to go to the left, it's all at the right stick. You want to go back with the right stick. Everything is now controlled by the stick. No more buttons. No more last minute wrong button presses. It's all controlled by the stick.
Sounds
Same
sticky.
thing with defensive line play, which is really awesome. So if you're on the right end and you're trying to get around the edge, you can literally just rotate your stick to try to do a spin move. Or you can go to the inside and try to chop block them to the inside.
I like that a lot better. I think that's very natural.
It is very natural. So I'm super excited about it. And so
am I now.
There's a lot of cool things coming to Madden. So the regular
story
franchise mode definitely got put on the back burner and was actually acknowledged by a lot of the fans, and they got very angry about it once they seen the notes. And the president of game development has already come out last week and said that they are working more on the franchise mode due to a huge backlash.
So did they take things away from the franchise
No,
mode?
they just basically didn't
Left
do
it the
anything.
same.
Didn't do anything.
So let me comment. Do you care?
Go ahead.
I've been
Go ahead,
playing the
bro.
franchise mode since probably '97 on the Sega Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
So I the favorite thing about the franchise mode is that is your team.
Yep.
And I even manage like ticket sales. I manage concession sales.
You set the budget.
I set the budget, baby. I get in there. I'll build new stadiums. I'll upgrade parking. I'll manage the finances of the entity, and I'll spend my money on some coaches and spend some money on some things. And I love managing that part of the game as well as my roster and my depth chart. And if you want to look at what it's like to be John Robinson or the Two-Tone Blue, that is the mode for you.
Right.
Franchise mode, baby. You can pick your players, you can trade players, you can release players. If you want to immerse yourself in the management of an entire team, that's where you want to go.
Love it.
And I absolutely love that mode. The only thing that I
So
wish
what
it didn't have-
what do you want to see?
Dude, I love how they incorporated the story mode early on in the Face of the franchise for the QB1.
Okay.
I love that, and I'm glad that they extended that further on past into the NFL.
Right.
And it would be cool to have like team cuts to the story. Something that a lot of other games have, like Fable, all the Fable series, they have a story mode in which you do things, you make choices, you answer things a certain way, and your whole life changes based on your choices.
Right.
Which is more relatable to real life.
Right.
And if you made certain choices in franchise mode that are relatable to real life, and you made a mistake on a trade, or you made a mistake, and there's news backlash, there used to be news in some other games, but all it was is like a newspaper clip, or at the bottom you've got the scroll, like Trey Wingo says blah, 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 blah.
Right.
Which I could care less about because I know he's not, like, I like the cutscenes, and the cutscenes have always made amazing games to me.
Well, it's theatric.
It's realistic.
It's theatric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it helps the imagination part of it
Grow.
And this whole game process is purely imagination anyways. Because I'm already invested in it because of the imagination. I could care less about I know how to throw the ball. I know how to play the game. I love the theatrics and seeing how decision making affects the success of the franchise or the player.
Right.
I love that.
Absolutely. Well, talk about decision making. We've got the NFL is making a lot of decisions as we speak
Team
currently
by team.
in real life.
Yeah.
It's no secret what's going on in the world right now, whether you agree with it or not. COVID-19. Dougie, you've got a little bit of. All right, we're just for full disclosure, we're hopping into real life.
Real life, baby.
Real life.
We got
Two-Tone
season
Blue,
ticket holders.
Season ticket holders. Dougie, take it away. I think you've got a little bit of secret breaking news, inside information. What's going on, man?
So
let the listeners know.
I sadly talked to a Bills fan today. It was tough. I made it through the conversation, but I talked to a Bills fan, and as of right now,
they're crazy, but man, they're loyal.
The Bills Mafia.
They're loyal, though.
They are.
They're nuts.
You know what? I felt like I was outnumbered at the Bills game.
Yeah.
Here in Tennessee. But anyways, hey, show up, Titans Nation. Yeet. But anyways, Bills news. As far as we know right now, Bills fans, no fans in the stadium for games. That's what's been communicated. So
to the Bills season ticket holders,
to the Bills Mafia.
there's no. Now, who communicated?
No
Was that
fans
the
in the
actual
game.
team?
Nope. I received that from a Power fan that planned on traveling to Tennessee last year for the Titans-Bills game.
Okay.
Power fan lives in New York.
Okay, and so the status is they're being told that there will not be any fans at all.
No home fans at the games,
Okay.
which is the most drastic I think I've heard.
Now, what about Titans?
Two-Tone Blue, baby. So I brought the scariest first. Two-Tone Blue. This is what they said. They said limited capacity at home games, but they didn't say no capacity. And they're looking at all the season ticket holders having a number of games in which they can attend, but capacity will be limited. I know a season ticket holder. One of them's my father-in-law as well. But he basically said, hey, if I go there and there's nobody there watching the game, it's not going to be as exciting. It's just like I like the tailgate. I like the games that we're going to. But if you get in the stadium and it's thin to chant, tighten up or
Right.
chant what you want to chant. Chant for those first downs, baby.
That's it.
But it's a very sad feeling, and the ticket holders that I've talked to, they're like, hey, if my tighten up, if the Blue Crew, if we're not going to be able to be like we normally are, then I just assume watch it at home. And
So they are given an option, is what you're saying. So what's the option?
So the Titans
that they're
are offering a couple options. So you go to some games this year, and you get credit towards your games next year. Okay, that's an option.
Okay.
You can ask for a full refund for this year, and there's a chance that will be 100% rewarded. The third option is you can apply all your money for your season tickets this year to next year. You can do that too. And I got a feeling that's kind of what a lot of the Titans season ticket holders will do.
We'll just apply it all to next year.
I think they'll apply it to next year. They'll invite all their buddies over, wear masks, and keep 6 foot distance and watch down the tube.
Yeah.
you know, and hang out together. But that is what has been communicated through the Titans organization to their season ticket holders. Breaking news, boom, there it is. The other thing I saw in national news today was the Ivy League schools in college football.
Right.
Which, if you listen to the show, you know I know very little about college football, and Chaze over here, Chase, is the expert. But
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah.
well, you're better than me.
Right.
So, it's been communicated that Harvard, Yale, a lot of these Ivy League schools are canceling their fall sports entirely. So there it is.
Yep.
That is what I read today, and it's a lot of sadness. But you know what? If we can watch it on TV, I see no reason not to have
Like,
people play.
yeah, like have the sports in general, right?
Yeah.
So,
What if they did like pay-per-view?
what?
Like I don't know. Maybe they did a pay-per-view option. I know that'd be sickening because people can watch it for free right now.
Right.
I don't know. I just hope that this doesn't hurt the teams financially, because if it hurts the teams financially and we end up losing teams,
I don't know. There's a lot of cap
think
space.
they'd be all right.
Yeah. So I seen today what was released today, and I truly, that, like you said, that's kind of been communicated to season ticket holders. So it's kind of not necessarily hush hush, but I mean it's not been put out in the public news. What has been put out in the public news today, Ravens have taken the lead on it. The Ravens have officially announced to the public eye that their stadium capacity for the season will be fewer than 14,000 seats per game, if the fans are even allowed to attend. The stadium itself can hold over 77,000 people.
The bank.
Yep.
77,000.
What is it, M&T?
Yep.
M&T Bank Stadium. So the stadium can hold 77,000 people, but they have announced that there will be no more than 14,000 people in attendance.
Very similar to the Titans' stance, but as far
And
as Bills go, though, Bills are out there with no fans.
Yep.
That's what's been communicated.
And that's even saying if they are allowed to. And obviously, first right is season ticket holders.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, which is only fair. So.
But I will say that they told, for Titans ticket holders, they told them directly, hey, look, you can't have every game
right.
that you paid for. And so that's a tough situation, and they're going to get more legitimate, clear-cut, red line test guidance later.
Right.
So
no doubt.
We'll keep an eye on the email and see how she goes.
We'll keep you updated, much as we know.
We want that NFL to power through. We see a Titans Super Bowl victory in the future. We see the King
running back, Tennessee.
We see KB31. We see Lawan.
That's it.
All the boys bringing it
home
this year.
I think that's about it, brother.
You know what else is powerful?
We've stuffed so much into this pod.
There's the Titans, but there's also this Power Pod.
This Power Pod has been tremendous.
Power!
Season 2.
Zing!
Deuces, bro. We out of here.
We don't need it. We're putting out that playlist for you. Look for it. We're going to be putting out this episode Friday, 7/10/2020. Right there.
That's it.
7/10/2020. This pod will be out. Look for next week. We're going to put out the playlist because Uncle Doug over here, Dougie Fresh, Captain Dougie, I'm going to be out on vacation. I'm actually going to golf some.
Whoop, whoop.
Getting
Well
that
deserved.
recovery.
Well deserved.
Getting that recovery. And so, and Chaze may do a singular pod. I don't know. He might have something up his sleeve. But if we don't, that playlist is coming out. Chaze's got a vacation coming up. We're going to hit you hard with the Season 3. So a little Season 3 peek right now. You ready for it?
I'm ready.
I think the listeners are ready too. In Season 3 is the debut of that 4K video. Stay tuned. You've wanted to see what the Shag Carpet Shag looks like. We got the leather throne over here,
Got the
the
red
velvet
roll
revolvers, the floral roller. We got Frank the Tank, the dog, as a special guest randomly every time. You can see our guests, see their emotion on their face. It brings more to you, the listeners. So stay tuned. The Power Move podcast is moving on to
Rolling.
power things for our power listeners. Boom. That's all we got, baby. That's how you cap it off.
That's a wrap.
And the only thing left to give you is a couple of deuces.
Deuces! Big loves to you guys.
Be easy.